we need a chit chat because there is nothing worse than working your ass off nonstop, learning, taking action, and then not seeing results. You think to yourself, I'm like, what's the point? Like, why am I still trying? Like, why should we still continue? Why should we keep going? Now, in this video, I'm not going to talk about how you're going to get the results. Okay, I'm going to talk about in this video why you should keep going and actually reframing the entire concept of getting results in your life. Because I quickly realized, this was years ago when I was chasing certain things, that it wasn't the result that I wanted, it was the feeling the result would get me. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I feel like people have just learned in their life is, if I get a result, it's gonna make me feel a certain emotion. And when I get the result, everything in my life is going to be perfect and amazing. And that cannot be further from the truth. So the first thing I want you to realize is the result is actually not even the goal. The real goal is you tapping into the feeling and the emotion right now in the present moment. So there was a time in my life where I was single. This was probably 6 years ago. I was broken up with this guy who tore my entire self-confidence apart. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him, and I did everything to kind of mend that relationship, try to make it work. But simultaneously, I was working so hard on myself, right? I was reading all the books on self-love and confidence and relationships. I would even invest into courses and programs to try and figure out how to attract and cultivate a really healthy partnership. But even after doing all of those things, I just still felt so empty. And I quickly realized it wasn't the result of me being in a loving relationship that was going to quote unquote fix me and make me feel better. It was me being okay in the present of just my own presence, right? So what you want to realize is the future that you're trying to run to, it is still going to be in the present moment. Okay, so therefore, if you're trying to always live in the future, you're always going to be disappointed in yourself because the future is the present. The present is the future. And when you can actually wrap your mind and wrap your head around that, everything becomes so much easier and so much simpler in your life because you're no longer chasing the result. You're no longer chasing the achievement. You're no longer chasing the destination. The only thing that you're really chasing is how can this moment right now, this second, be the best second of my life, because that's the only thing that actually matters. And this leads me to your result and your achievement is only gonna last you a second, because think about it. The moment that you, for an example, let's say you wanna grow a social media following, the moment that you reach your first 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers, you might be happy for a week, you might be happy for a day, you might be happy for an hour, maybe you're happy only for 10 minutes. And then guess what happens? The next moment you're like, okay, now I want 10,000 followers. I want 10,000 subscribers. And guess what happens? You go back into the state of, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm working so hard and I'm trying to chase this thing, but I just don't feel happy. So we're always in this cycle of chasing something, but not being okay in where we're currently at. And this is a stigma that, trust me, I have dealt with for a lot of years, because being someone who is just naturally very competitive, very ambitious, I always want to achieve the next new thing. I always want to help people. I also really have to bring myself back into the present and realize that the achievement is just extra. The result, it is just extra, because I already have everything right now in the present moment. I can healthily work on my results and work on my achievements. However, if I keep feeling defeated because I'm only focused on the result, once again, going back to what I said earlier, the future is always going to be in the present. Therefore, I'm always going to be feeling disappointed in myself. And why would we want to live that way? We don't want to. So the real and true goal is, how can we feel happy now with or without the results, okay? And in this video, I'm not gonna go into the universe and law of attraction and how you actually truly do attract results and change into your life, because it does have to do with being happy and vibrating at a really high frequency and energy. But if you want me to create that video, let me know in the comments. But being happy right now in the present moment, that should be your goal. The goal should not be the end result that you're trying to get, because let me tell you, when you feel happy in the present moment, it is actually going to motivate you and push you to work on the goal in a different way, in a different energy. 99.9% of the time, when you're working on a goal and you're not getting the result, it is because it's not necessarily the strategy that's like not working. It could be. And that's what I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. But a lot of the times it's the energy and it's the mindset behind the action that you're actually taking. Therefore, if you want to be in like the perfect body, if you want to have toned skinny arms, if you want to have abs, but every single time you work out, you look at yourself in the mirror after doing one bicep curl and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm fat, I'm ugly, shit, like this workout, it's not even gonna work. But yet you still work out every day. However, you're talking to yourself like that while you're working out defeats the entire purpose of working out. Might as well not even work out, because the actions are not going to get you the result. So if you are, once again, if you're still watching this video till this point, until this moment, I just want to tell you, like, you don't even have to ask yourself how to keep going. It really is just a mindset shift of how you're looking at your goals and how you're looking at the actions that you're actually taking. And the perfect example, this happened to me when I was getting started in my business. For almost like a year straight, I would post every single day on social media. I did all the right tactics, strategies when it came to sales, marketing, doing lives, promoting myself, branding, everything. But it was really, really, really hard for me to make sales. It was really hard for me to make money. And guess why? Guess what happened? It was because every single day I would also tell myself, like, this isn't going to work. No one's going to buy what you have to sell. Like, do you see results? Do you see money coming in? There's somebody out there that's doing it better than you. That language is not going to get you anywhere, right? So you want to take that language and you want to reframe it into a language that actually backs up the actions that you are taking. So once I realized my talk track was not aligned to the results that I actually wanted and the life that I wanted to live every single day, I consciously changed that. And yes, it did allow me to keep going and allowed me to build a multi-six-figure business. Being consciously aware of what's happening in your mind is like honestly one of the main things that you can do to keep going with everything that you're trying to work towards. Now, with that being said, there is another thing that I want to talk about that does have to do with a little bit more like actionable, tangible strategy. And this actually does have to do with the strategy on its own. If you keep doing the same thing every single day in terms of actions and you're still not getting the result, it might not be the mindset. It might not be you as a person. It might just be the strategy. Like, you actually have the wrong strategy. For an example, let's say you heard somebody say that, like, oh, in order for you to find the perfect job, you have to apply to 100 different jobs, right? Because out of those 100 jobs, you might hear back from 40 of them. From 40 of them, you might get 10 interviews. And out of those 10 interviews, you'll probably land at least one job. Now, looking at it from my perspective, I am no pro when it comes to getting jobs, hiring, firing, because I have my own business. But that does not seem like a strategic way to land your dream job, right? If I were to do it, it would be searching what businesses would be so happy to have me as their employee. I would be searching what companies really align with my values, with my beliefs, and maybe I would have 5 solid places that I would connect with first on LinkedIn. I would add value. I would build a connection, build a relationship, and then I would go in and have an interview with them. Like, that strategy would probably work so much better than trying to hit so many darts hoping that you get a bullseye. So take a look at it. If you're frustrated and you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again, maybe you do need a different strategy to keep going. I want to get a little one-on-one deep with you here, okay? So just imagine just me and you. I want you to realize there is someone waiting. there is someone waiting. So in the midst of you almost giving up, in the midst of you questioning if it's working, in the midst of you thinking, is it even worth it? Think about the person that is waiting. The person that is waiting for your post. The person that's waiting for your message. The person that's waiting to love you. The person that is waiting to be your best friend. The person that is waiting to find a solution to the problem that they have been struggling with for years on end. There is someone waiting. For me personally, nothing fires me up and nothing keeps me going than thinking of the person who is waiting to hear from me. Like, actually think about it. You're working towards something, whatever that something is. A business, a career, a brand, finding the love of your life, being more healthy, finding a friendship, building a community, whatever that is, you are working towards something. Imagine there is somebody waiting for you. If you're trying to get, for an example, if you're trying to be healthy, but you just feel like you cannot keep going, don't do it for you. The someone that is waiting are your kids. Don't you want to be healthy for them so you can live till 103? You don't want to die when you're 50, right? Like, that is enough motivation for you to keep going. When it comes to your career, there is someone waiting. There is somebody, I always think about this. I always think about this for myself. There is someone who is struggling so much when it comes to their mental health. There is someone struggling so much when it comes to their thoughts. There is someone that's struggling so much because they think they are stuck in their current life situation. Imagine if I didn't show up and share the knowledge and the experience that I had from my own life because I figured it out. And from that one video that you watch, that they watch, they can do a complete 360. I don't know about you, but that fires me up. That tells me to keep going. I don't even have to do any of the rest of the things I mentioned in today's video because that is enough for you to keep going. So in the midst of you, once again, quitting, giving up, questioning yourself, think about the person who is waiting to hear from you. And that is all you need in order for you to keep going. Let me know in the comments what you want to chit chat with me about next. And just know I love you so, so much. Until next time, make sure that you stay unforgettable.